Hey guys, I've had this one on my to-do list for quite a while, and it's a lady goes by the name of The Absolute on YouTube. You can go find her. I'll put a link to this out there, of course. She has a website called theoneabsolute.com, and this is title of this video is called The Consequences of Atheism. And it's about 12 minutes long, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to listen to all 12 minutes of this because it's bullshit. I mean, I'll give you guys a good 10, 15 minutes of fun, but I'm not going to listen to all 11 minutes of this because she takes forever to get to her points. But since I know where this is all going, let's go ahead and get started.
So this is a follow-up video to one that I made a while ago called Atheism is Incorrect. And I'll include a link to that video below this one so you can have it for reference. But I felt compelled to make another video reaching out to atheists about what I'm experiencing.
Okay, well, fine, reach out to us. We're always glad to hear from people about, how we could possibly be better in our lack of a belief, which is pretty interesting when you think about it. Like, you really think that you need to come forward and tell us that we're wrong for not believing in something that you obviously believe in. Huh. Anyway.
With regards to universal truth. In my psychic medium sessions, I know...
Wait a minute. Now I'm ready.
Noticed that deceased loved ones were coming forward and expressing a sigh of relief over the fact that they weren't atheists while they were alive. When I communicated with them on the other side, they were like, thank God I was rewarded for my faith.
Continue. I mean, sorry, I gotta pour my drink here because this is insanity.
And it was like this relief energy, the wiping of the brow, and it was, thank God I believed in God while I was alive. And I said, why? Like, why?
Thank him for believing in him while I was still alive.
Is it such a big deal that you believed in God while you were alive? Like, what are you saying you avoided? Like, what are you afraid of? And this is what they showed me.
I like your jacket. Hair's pretty cool too.
This is our lovely Earth dimension. And this is the other side. Obviously, that's where you go when you cross over.
Now, I've been in contact with my psychic energies that I've been reading. 40 proof. And sorry, I just made myself laugh. I've been talking with them, and you're wrong about there only being Earth plane and the other side. There's a mid-plane, too. We call it the Umbra.
And what they showed me was what is required. When you are alive on Earth, faith is required.
Fuck you, it's required. I don't have to believe anything without having supporting evidence for it. I mean, basing your method of life off of something you can't prove isn't how most people do things. And if you're going to be all pedantic and talk about how, well, you have faith in your wife, like, fuck you, you don't know my marriage. But no, just kidding. I have faith that I'm going to wake up tomorrow, but that's not the same thing as believing in an invisible sky daddy, now is it? It's not the greatest gamble of all where I feel like, I'm going to base my entire life on something that I can't prove will really happen in the afterlife. Who lives like that? I mean, don't answer that question because I already know. I'm watching one of them right here.
When you are on the other side, no faith is required. And the reason for this is because on the other side, they are all-knowing.
Motherfucker, really? They're all-knowing. Okay. Is this one of those God translates you into your best body you could possibly be where you're all-knowing and... I hate my life sometimes.
Everyone's consciousness is connected, and you are part of one big collective consciousness that is attached to universal truth.
Oh, so you're the Borg. Okay, got it. Great, so individuality. Oh, wait. That's almost fitting in the theme with this, where individuality causes pain and everybody yearns to be part of a collective. Fuck, Keanu knew what he was talking. Sorry, continue. I'm getting all tangentialized in my Evangelion thinking here.
You are shown what the universal truths are. You are all-knowing when you pass. Because you are all-knowing, you know that God exists, it's an absolute, and it's a truth. No faith is required.
Now, you can't tell me that if you know everything, it somehow doesn't require some sort of faith in other things, because this is where we run into philosophical issues. Can you actually be all-knowing? Can you know things that are not knowable? I mean, sound of one hand clapping beyond, the Bart Simpson way of doing it kind of thing. It's like, can you know irrational things? Can you know the last digit of pi? I mean, these are the kind of questions I would ask when I would be in this after state that you're talking about. Would I ever get to 10,000 subscribers?
When you live in this earth plane, you're not sure if God exists. You're not all-knowing. You're not sure.
So, therefore, Christianity? I mean, what's your game here, lady? Because the way that you're selling it to me right now is like, if you don't have any, you have to have faith in the earth realm. Faith in what? Which one's right? Scientology or being a Mennonite? I mean, honestly, I don't fucking know. And most atheists that I know that grew up in religion, they spent a long goddamn time trying to figure out their place in the world. I considered going to multiple different religions as I was coming out of Christianity because I didn't know, and I felt like I needed to know, and I felt like there needed to be that kind of thing in my life. How wrong I was. I don't need any of that. Okay, well, we need faith when we're here. Whatever, lady.
There's no hardcore scientific evidence proving that. Now, quantum physics might disagree with me because some people say it does exist, but for the sake of argument, let's say it doesn't.
Oh, okay, so we can just dismiss things offhand. Okay, therefore you don't exist. I'm a brain in a vat. Great.
Faith is required. Faith is required. Blind faith is required in order to believe in the existence of the divine.
Okay, great. I'm not going to have blind faith. Great. Can we be done? All right, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
While you're alive. But the problem is, there's a line drawn in the sand here. So, your faith while you're alive only matters when you're over here.
So now I'm confused. Now you're talking about a line in sand. Is the division between these areas like a beach somewhere? Because I'm like Anakin Skywalker. I fucking hate sand. I'm struggling to understand your metaphor here, lady. I really am. Because you're talking about when you die, you become all-knowing. What about the people that are clinically dead? And then they come back to life. They're not suddenly smarter than they used to be. Seriously?
Faith or lack thereof, what you're doing, the free will decisions that you're making only matter while you're here. Boom, you're just showing the truth.
Well, that's great, because I don't believe in free will either.
Faith is required. Faith is not required. It doesn't exist. It's not required. No faith. If you're all-knowing, there's no faith. Because you're already shown that the divine does exist.
Thank you for repeating yourself.
Absence of faith, hard line drawn in the sand. What matters is when you're on this part of the line, when you're on this side of the line. That's what matters. When you go to this side of the line, too late. Too late. So in that video that I made, Atheism is Incorrect, what was I saying? I was saying the other side asked me to make this video reaching out to atheists because they don't want you to cross over and find out you were wrong.
What's wrong with being wrong, though? I mean, if I crossed over to some other form of existence and I'd be like, oh, fuck, I was wrong the whole time, I would be all in. I'd be completely in, instead of being a smug asshole and be like, I always knew. And then again, you're still also talking about the fact that you're talking about billions upon billions of other people that don't have the same right answer as you do. They all just go... Fuck, she hasn't even gotten to that point yet. Hang on.
Because there are consequences. There are consequences for crossing over and finding out you were incorrect about not believing in God. So here's the problem. What are the consequences of having no faith? It is a lack of virtue. So because you have no faith, you are considered a, quote, lower, unevolved soul.
Wait, so in your afterlife, if you have no faith, therefore you are a lower value. Huh?
Your belief system matters. Your belief system matters a lot. Are you aligned with truth? Are you an energetic match for the truth? The truth is the light. What is the truth? It's black and white. There's no in between.
Well, yeah, you're correct in the fact that truth is not subjective. However, how you define truth means a lot of different things. I strongly feel that you're talking about truth being something that is extant without humans being around, or it's a thinly veiled reference for you to be talking about God. God is not truth. If God was truth, we would know it. But since we don't know, you can't call him truth. You call that speculation. You call that faith. It's not truth if we can't define it, if we can't test for it, if we can't get evidence for it. You can't call that truth.
God either does exist or he doesn't.
Ah, there we go.
Are you willing to bet your afterlife on the fact that he doesn't exist?
I'm not willing to bet my current life on the fact that he does or doesn't exist. That's the problem. I know I'm here now. I exist on this plane, if you want to call it the Earth plane. I know this one exists. I'm going to live my life and have the greatest time doing it. I'm not going to hoard my paychecks until an afterlife in order to feel like I might have enjoyed myself. All I know is that I'm barreling my way towards my own death and having booze at 11 o'clock at night when I'm trying to record this stuff isn't a way for me to live longer. Happier, yes, but maybe not longer. But I know that I'm going to die and be happy that I lived my life to the fullest. Meanwhile, you guys are always begging for forgiveness, always being on your knees, asking for, forgiveness for what you've done in this life, and thinking that, oh God, I'm such a flawed human being. Pity me. I'm so terrible. When I'm just over here going, sure is wonderful to be a human these days. Do you see the big difference? I'm not going to go out of this world with any regrets. If I die and there's something in the great beyond afterward, and, somehow the soul is a thing, or it's a quantum enmeshment theory, or whatever the fucking stupid theory that you guys want to come up with, whatever bullshit it is that you guys have this month. If I come to find out that it's really a thing, I'm going to be like, cool. There's something afterward. And if that god of that realm wants to punish me for the rest of my fucking eternity, your god's an asshole. He should know what it would take to get people like me to believe, and he should be doing it if he cares about me at all. If it is a he, if it does care, if it does do any of this shit. Do you see the problem? We're doing if. Meanwhile, here in the real world, we're saying, eat, drink, and be merry, for soon we all die. We know that. We don't know if there's something after this.
I think that's what bothers me, is everyone thinks the other side is like so light and so fluffy. Universal energies are not light and fluffy. I make a mistake, I attract darkness to myself. If I go around lying to everybody and I align myself with falsities, I attract darkness to myself. The universe is
Well, then you're Satan in this regard, because you're fucking falsitying yourself all over the place.
Very unforgiving, okay? It's not that fluffy. It's not, well, I led a good life, so everything's cool. And, if God exists and he's such a loving God, well, then he'll welcome me with open arms.
No, because he's an asshole.
Because he loves me. He does love you, but you have free will, and universal energies respond to free will. And if your free will is aligned with the biggest falsity of all, and that's that God doesn't exist, you're in trouble.
Oh, okay, I'm in trouble. So that means jail or prison or break out the furry handcuffs? I mean, please get kinky with me. I mean, I'd like to know what my punishment's going to be, mistress.
You're in trouble. You are an energetic match for the dark, and your belief system is an energetic match for demons.
Fuck yeah. I mean, if that's where all the cool people are going, I'm all for it. What about you guys?
When you cross over, your soul is a ball of energy. What is that ball of energy an energetic match for?
Where did that energy come from? What kind of energy is it? How did it get from this plane to the next plane? You can't just say it's a ball of energy. How does energy get contained within that ball? What is the the medium in which that energy is being transported upon. How is that medium being transported? Is it the same kind of energies that we have within this universe? Is it the Mr. Chin model where you have the, mechanical, radiant, electromagnetic, chemical, nuclear? I can't remember what the other one is. Is that what it is? Or is this like spiritual energy? Because if then I'm going to be like Goku and ask everybody to give me their chi, do the whole spirit bomb thing and blow the fuck out of this YouTube channel. Because this is ridiculous. And she has 13,000 subscribers, y'all. Fuck.
The truth and the light, or the dark and falsities? What if the truth and the light is God, and the dark and falsities is absence of God?
She's doing that hand rolling thing where she's like juggling something. I'll let your guys' minds go to wherever you want to go with that one. Just grab both of them. Maybe, mine aren't like that. You can get them with one.
Absence of truth, which is what atheism is. It's a total absence of truth.
No, atheism is a lack of belief in your God. That's it. It's up to your God and you guys to come up with the good evidence for us to become believers. Atheists want to be proven wrong. We've not been. We want you to prove your positive claim. That's what we want. Until then, we're going to take the neutral position, which is, I don't believe something until I am shown that it is true. If you don't have the right kind of evidence, if you don't have any evidence, you're not going to convince a single atheist to change their way of life by saying that you're going to be aligned with dark energy. I mean, seriously, try a little bit fucking harder.
Not only are you denying your creator, but you're denying the part of your soul that is directly connected to the creator, called your higher self. There is a part of your soul that lives on the other side that is directly connected to the divine. It is you in your most pure form. Everyone has a higher self, and all of our higher selves are part of the collective consciousness.
So God looks like Flowey from Undertale, or a dandelion, or maybe just a lion with a halo. He's smiling? If I'm an evil person, why is he smiling? That means he's got some evil intentions set out for me.
They're all connected. The part of you that lives in this earth plane with me, your lower self, has this connection to your higher self.
Oh, that's not God. That's our higher self inside of God. Okay, got it. Whatever, lady.
What is this? What is this divine connection?
It's a black line on a Office Depot pad that you're drawing, felt tip marker.
This divine connection is based on how virtuous you are. How close of an energetic match to the divine himself are you? How virtuous is your soul?
Well, if we're talking about me having a connection to divine, you're going to have to watch Pink Flamingos all over again and tell me again how divine isn't the best fucking drag queen that ever existed. I mean, there was one speech that she gave where she's like, eat shit. And that's kind of what I'm close to saying to you right now, lady, because I'm bored with your shenanigans.
How close of an energetic match are you? If you lack the virtue of faith, not very, it means your connection to the divine sucks. So you are considered a lower, unevolved soul.
Is there any way to get like a booster, like a mesh network in there for me to have a better connection? I mean, help me out here. I mean, I work in IT, so I would very much like to know how I could potentially get a better signal. Do we got to move to fiber? Fiber would be okay.
And that is why people's deceased loved ones are coming through and saying, thank God I had faith because I'm over here on the other side and I don't want to be considered a lower unevolved soul. So everyone else's higher selves are up here and you're down here. Further away.
So her evidence for all of this, and I'm done at this point because 7 minutes of this nonsense is just way too fucking much. And I'm running out of funny things to say about this stupid stuff, and I need to refresh my beverage. But her evidence for all of this is her talking to psychic spirits that are out there. So, I mean, you guys can just take reality and see it for yourself, or you can be like this lady and take the advice of her brain fucking going wrong with all sorts of pareidolia, thinking that she's talking to somebody or hearing something that's not really there. So You can take X, who's going to give it to you straight, even though I'm a corporate shill, demon-loving, we get all sorts of weird comments here. If you listen to them, somehow I'm some sort of... You know what? I'm done. This lady would probably come back and like, oh, he's just lost. I'm like, you know what? Fine, fuck you. I'm lost. Guess what? I'm having a better life than you are.